Hello, good day to everyone. Today I am going to continue to introduce our principle of creation. The first part of the principle of creation. This is actually in the middle part. So how is joy created? We have talked a while ago that before this topic that God, the core of God's nature is heart. And we understand that the heart or simjung, we call it simjung, ganon. This is a Korean word na it talks about heart. This simjung is an emotional impulse, an irresistible emotional impulse to experience joy, by loving. So this is the core of the essence of God. Heart or love is the core of God, and that love wants, and because of that love, He wanted to find somebody. He wanted to experience joy by loving. Kaya nga, He has a principle, the principle of the give and receive between subject and object. This subject is the initiator or the giver, and the object is the one that receives love, and also the object reflects beauty. And so He has this kind of principle. The purpose is for Him and for His object to experience joy. How joy is produced? It is through resemblance. If the object resembles the subject, then joy is produced. If the subject who loves the object resembles the subject, then that is when joy is produced. So when God created the world, He said in Genesis 1:31, when He created the universe, and when He created man, He saw that He has what He has made, and behold, it was very good. So kung sinabi niyang very good, He experienced joy by looking at His creation, and that is because His creation resembles Him. Okay, so, but here, what is the greatest resemblance? The greatest resemblance that can give greatest joy is between parents and child. You see, God is our parent, and He wanted to experience joy by loving His children. Diba ganun yung nature ng God? And He can experience the greatest joy if the child will reflect the intention or the mind, the heart of a parent. We can easily see this through the parents and child relationship. Like in the Bible, in Proverbs 23:24, it says that the father of the righteous will greatly rejoice. The father will greatly rejoice, and he who begets a wise child will delight in him. Ibig sabihin, magiging grabing saya yung isang father kung meron siyang wise child. Ibig sabihin, magbibigay ng grabing kaligayahan ang anak sa mga parents. Ganun. So, and this is also the words of Heavenly Father in Matthew 17:5. He said this to John the Baptist. When John the Baptist was baptizing Jesus Christ in the Jordan River, he said to John the Baptist, "This is my beloved Son, whom I am well pleased." Ibig sabihin, God was so happy looking at Jesus Christ. Why? Because Jesus Christ reflects Him. Jesus Christ resembles God. That's why He said He was very pleased of Jesus Christ, and He told him to listen to Him. He told John the Baptist to listen to Jesus Christ. And in 1 John 3:22, and whatever we ask, we receive from Him because we keep His commandments. So God as a parent gives everything to His children. the needs of his children, because his children also is also doing that, because his children are also obedient to his commandment. So in the family, we can see this. Parents are very happy taking care of their children giving beauty to them, and the parents giving love to their children. This is how joy is created. And God created this, God created a family. God wanted Adam and Eve to create this family, the first human beings to create a family that can experience joy, where God can experience joy. That's why God gave us these three blessings. So what is the purpose of three blessings? The purpose of these three blessings is for human being to resemble God, to resemble Him, so that both God and His children will experience joy. So what is this? In Genesis 1:27 to 28, God said, the Bible says, so God created man in His own image, in the image of God. He created him, male and female, He created them, and God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. So God created human beings, and He blessed them. Blessing meaning biyaya, di ba? In Tagalog, biyaya. God gave human beings this blessing that they have to be fruitful, multiply, and dominion. Why? Because God wanted human beings to resemble Him, to become like Him, to reflect Him, so that both God and also human beings will experience joy. So, and here, and God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good. He said this, God created everything, and then when He looked at it, it was very good. Why? Because it reflects Him. His nature is reflected in the creation, and God can experience joy by that. So, the first blessing is actually to be fruitful. What is fruitful? Fruitful means to become mature. Mature or mature in everything, in spirit, body, and soul. So how can we become mature? First is our mind needs to become centered on God, and the body follows the mind. And if we do like this, if the mind and the body perform this give and receive action centering on God, then that person will become a true person. So that person will have an internal character similar to God, and external form following God. So this person becomes a true person. So in the Bible, in Matthew 5:48, this true person is a perfect person. Jesus Christ said, you therefore must be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. So Jesus Christ was telling us that each person is supposed to become a true person. This is the first blessing God gave to us. God gave to man. Ibig sabihin yun, na pwede tayong maging perfect. Biyaya meanings, ibinigay niya na abilidad natin ito. All human beings can become fruitful because God already gave the blessing. You can become perfect. Sabi niya sa unan, you be perfect. Sabi niya, be fruitful. Ang ibig sabihin, be perfect. Just like Jesus Christ said in Matthew 5:48. And Jesus Christ also said here, do you not know that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, and the Father who dwells in me does His work. So, sabihin niyan, Jesus Christ said that He became the temple of God. So, He was able to become the fruitful. Jesus Christ was able to reach maturity and became fruitful. So, this is a dynamic model for being fruitful. So, this is the mind is the object of God. So, the mind is going around the will of God, rotating around the will of God, the mind. And the body also rotates around the mind. following the will of the mind, which is connected to God. If this mind and body of a person is doing like that, then he becomes a true person. And a true person is a true person embodies the heart of God. Since God is dwelling in him, he is the temple of God. He follows God through his original mind. He has the power to reject falsehood, and he cannot be tempted by anything, and that is the nature of Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ is the true person. He is the first human being. He is the person who became totally one with God. He said, I am in the Father and the Father in me. He said, he who has seen me has seen the Father. Why? Because God is in Jesus Christ. He's inside the body of Jesus Christ. He's the temple of God. He is perfect. And that's why he can overcome the temptations of Satan. Maski ano pang temptation, then Jesus Christ was able to resist all of them and keep his position as a true person, keep himself as the temple of God. So Jesus Christ is the personification of a true person, of a perfect person, of a temple of God. And God dwells in him. So whatever he tells, it's the words of God. Okay, si Jesus Christ yun. Yun yung first blessing. So the fulfillment of the first blessing, according to Matthew 22:37, is this: love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Ibig sabihin, a person who is totally one with God, a person whose mind and body are working, are in unity, centering on God, can only have the love of God in his heart, in his soul, and in his mind. So, yan ang fulfillment of the first blessing that God gave to humankind. Okay? Now, let's go to the second blessing. What is naman multiply? Multiply means multiply what? Multiply, sabi ng God, multiply, fill the earth. Meaning, Adam and Eve are supposed to fill the earth with people, with God's children. Multiply God's children. That is the meaning of second blessing. And this is a blessing. This is biyaya ng Diyos para sa mga tao. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong abilidad to really multiply God's children. Just like God gave the blessing to Adam and Eve, God also gave this blessing to everyone. So we can multiply God's children because God wanted to multiply His children. He created Adam and Eve para sila yung mag-multiply ng physical children of God. Okay, so this is the dynamic model. Sabihin, the head of Adam is God. Okay, the subject of Adam is God. And Adam rotates around the will of God, following the will of God. Eve is the object of Adam. The subject of Eve is Adam. So, they are supposed to have this give and receive action together with Eve going around Adam. So, if they can do that together, centering on God, then they can multiply children of God. Meaning, God's children, no? The seed of God or the lineage of God can be multiplied through Adam and Eve. That is the second blessing. So, here, what is this second blessing here? In 1 Corinthians, this is about the love of husband and wife. In 1 Corinthians 11:3, but I want you to know that the head of every man is Christ. Okay, so Christ. The head of every man is Christ. The head of woman is man. So ito yung head ng woman. And the head of Christ is God. So nandito si Christ. So, si Jesus nandito. Nandito si Christ. So, the head of man is Christ and the head of Christ is God. and the head of woman is the husband. So this is the second blessing. Sabihin, this is a very important relationship here na kung magagawa natin ito, then the family throughout the world, if we could fulfill this in its family, that the husband continues to love the wife and the wife respects the husband, centering on God, then the family could really become the foundation for God's kingdom on earth. This is what we call the ideal family. This is the ideal family that everybody is looking for. So the ideal family, no ganun. Everybody is looking for this ideal family. If Adam and Eve had multiplied children, then true couple. Okay. Wait lang. So if Adam and Eve had fulfilled this, then they could have become the true parents or the true couple. They'll become they can create a family that can really fulfill the will of God. And yun nga, yung kanina, that can resemble God. That can resemble the will of God. And they can give joy to God, and God can experience joy from this family. And in this family, all of them can experience joy. All of them can experience love. All kinds of love are in this family. And this becomes the basis for God's kingdom on earth. Okay, so let us look here, Ephesians 5:33. Let each one of you love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects the husband. So dito, Jesus Christ or the Bible, the apostles of Jesus Christ was teaching that the responsibility of a husband is to love the wife unconditionally, and the true wife also respects the husband unconditionally. Ibig sabihin nito that even sometimes the wife is not lovable, then the responsibility of the husband is love, and the wife also, even the husband is not respectable from her point of view, then the wife also has to respect the husband. So yun. And here, the true couple, therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, as they shall become one flesh. So, yung marriage centering on God is eternal. They shall become one flesh. One flesh. So, the husband and the wife becomes one flesh in their relationship, their sexual relationships, ganun, and in their spiritual relationships, they become one person, reflecting God, resembling the natures of God. Okay, so that's why some people say that if you do not get married, you're only half. Hindi ka buo, kasi yung buo is a combination of a man and a woman. So for husbands, this means love your wife just as Christ loved the church. He gave up his life for her. So husbands, the men have a very, parang mas stronger sila. They are stronger in physical energy, no? Tapos very strong din, mas malaki din yung pag-iisip nila. That's why if you look at the world today, most of the innovations, most of the infrastructures, most of the buildings, the bridges, ganun, karamihan lalaki. Most of them are male, men who did that. Because that is, that God gave them such ability. God gave them that kind of power to have dominion or to take care of the whole world. But he has also the responsibility to love the wife just as Christ loved the church. And husbands can give up their life for their family, for their wife, for their children. Usually, ganun yung husband. They have power. They have 2.5 power more than woman. No? So, they have 2.5 more power. Kung woman is 1, then they can have 2.5. So, very strong sila, very powerful. Meron mga hormones sila that, so God created them to be like that. So, this is a true couple. And the wife also has to support the husband in order to create a good family. So, the second blessing is this. What does the one God seek? According to Malachi 2:15, is godly offspring. Hindi lang basta offspring. God need godly offspring. What is God's godly offspring? This is the seed of God, or the lineage of God should be multiplied to the family, society, nation, and world. So if a true man carrying the seed of God and a true woman working together with the husband, loving and respecting each other, they can create a true family consisting of true children, lineage of God. Okay, this is the multiplication of God's lineage. Godly offspring means the lineage of God. The blood of God is flowing in each person. That is the creation. That is the way God intended for the whole world to be. God wanted the world to be filled with His children, godly children. So yun ang hinahanap ng Diyos. That's why for a true man and a true woman, for a husband and wife who are centered on God, they are the expectation of God for them is that they can build a true family with many children, and expand that to society, nation, and world. This is the basis. So the basis of creating God's kingdom is a true family. So this is the meaning of blessing, and what is the purpose of God in giving this biyaya, this blessing to people, so that the family becomes a resemblance of God. So they can all experience joy, God and human beings, and all the family. So in the family, we can find 4 kinds of love. Okay, so we can find the family, we can find 4 kinds of love inside the family: children's love, fraternal love, conjugal love, and parental love. Actually, the first love that human beings receive is parental love from their parents, diba? Parents love their children. So children receive so much love from their parents. And then as the children grow, they will experience also fraternal love from their brothers and sisters. And then if the children continuously grow and they reach the maturity period, they will have a husband and wife relationship, and that is when they can experience conjugal love. And then when this husband and wife continue to grow and become parents, then the children also, they can also experience children's love from their children. So all of this love, children's love, parental love, conjugal love, parents' love, are in a true family. This is the intention of God for families, na nandoon yung love from God, that the core of their family is the love of God expressed through the parents, through the parental love. So in the parental love, nandyan na lahat. Maski pa malaki na yung baby mo, even your child already is grandparent, grandfather, or grandmother, you still love them. But you still have that love for them. You still have the Okay, there's children's love, there is fraternal love, conjugal love. They're all inside that family. So, kung ganito, if God intended this one actually. God planned this one. It's in the Bible. It's God said that you have to multiply, meaning to create a family that can embody the love of God. And if we can fulfill this family, then God can be very, very happy. And true family mean Adam and Eve were to become the true parents in a true family. Adam and Eve are supposed to become the true parents of humankind. They are the progenitor of the lineage of God. So mature parents are the root of the family. The family is the school of love. So yung sinasabi natin kanina, all kinds of love will be experienced in that kind of family. A God-centered family is the building block of the kingdom of heaven. So if we are everybody is longing to live in God's kingdom, not only in the spirit world but also in heaven. So for those who really want to build in the kingdom of heaven, we really have to understand that heaven can be established on earth. Where will it start? In the family. Okay, so in the family. So the fulfillment, let's look at Psalms 103. But from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear Him, and His righteousness with their children's children, with those who keep the covenant and remember to obey His precepts. So, this is the second blessing, meaning the love of God, the love of the Lord is perpetuated through children and children's children, meaning the love of God will go and go and go on to the next and next and next generation forever. So yun ang tinatawag na second blessing. The fulfillment of the second blessing is to perpetuate this love of God to the next generation, to perpetuate His righteousness to their children, to keep for those who keep the covenant and remember to obey His precepts. So ito, the second blessing, as I'm telling, this is the ability of human beings to create a true family that will perpetuate the love of God and that will bring joy to everybody. Now let's go to the third blessing. God also said, have dominion. God gave the blessing to Adam and Eve in Genesis 1:28 to have dominion over the fish of the earth, the birds of the air, ganon. So, ibig sabihin to have dominion, kayo yung mamamahala. Kayo yung, ano bang tawag doon? Mayordomo ba yun? You take care of this creation. So, God created human beings to become the subject over the creation, and the creation is supposed to respond to them, centering on centering on the purpose, diba? So let's look at this one. For the creation waits with eager longing for the revealing of the sons of God, because the creation itself will be set free from its bondage to decay and obtain the glorious liberty of the children of God. So, you can see here, we can understand here that the creation who are supposed to be loved and taken care of human beings as the dominator of love, So, if there are true families, human beings full of God's love, who have fulfilled the first blessing in the second blessing, then we can assume that all these human beings are filled with the love of God and they can take care of the creation with the love of God. Diba? Pero ano sabi sa Bible? They are longing, they are waiting for the revealing of the sons of God. So they too, yung creation also, are waiting for human beings to become a true dominator, true Lord for them, who can really give them the love of God that they can experience only from human beings. So dito sabi, we know that the whole creation had been groaning in travail together until now. So this is the result of the fall actually. So what we are sharing to now is original plan of God, the intentions of God from the beginning. But this Romans 8:19 to 22 tells us that the original plan of God was not fulfilled, and the creation are groaning inwardly, waiting for the revealing of the sons of God. So, ibig sabihin nito na hindi pa natutupad yung third blessing na sinasabi ng God until now, that the creation are waiting for the revealing of the sons of God. So, if human beings could fulfill the three blessings, yung first, second, and third blessing, then the third blessing can also be fulfilled, and we can also build the kingdom of heaven that we are longing for. Okay, so this is the dynamic of the dominion. So human beings are the object of God's love, diba? The love of God flows to these people freely as they are going around following the will of God. And if the perfect people loves the creation will respond to them beautifully. They will have proper give and receive action of love and beauty. Then they can create the kingdom of heaven. You know, in this world, the creation will be able to provide everything that human beings need. So when God created the creation, it actually, the purpose of God when He created them is for human beings to experience love, to be prosperous, to be abundant. God as the Father does not want His children to live in poverty, to live in misery, to live in starvation, di ba? God actually created all the creation so that His children could live properly. This was God's intention, to have dominion, meaning the human being could take care of the creation through their creativity. They can make the creation as their yung kasama nila in building the kingdom of heaven. So this is the third blessing, dominion of love. It is the dominion of love. No, hindi yung wala tayong love sa creation. If people, because of something happened in the beginning, this kind of intention, this purpose or original plan of God cannot be seen in our time today. Pero what we are sharing here is the original plan of God. You know, the original plan of God is very clearly recorded in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. So if we try to study Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, then we can really understand what was God's intention in creating the universe, and what was God's intention for Adam and Eve, what was the purpose of God, why He fulfilled the three, why He gave us the three blessings. So let's look at the fulfillment of the third blessing in Psalms 8:46. What are mere mortals that you should think about them? Human beings that you should care for them? Yet you made them only a little lower than God, and crowned them with glory and honor. You gave them charge of everything you made, putting all things under their authority. You see, this is the Bible telling na, sino ba ang mga tao? Who are these human beings, God, that you made them even just a little lower than you, and you crowned them with glory and honor, and you gave them in charge of everything, and you gave them authority over everything that you created. So you see, God gave us this authority, this kind of yung he gave us the authority. He gave us he crowned us with glory and honor. He made us a little bit lower than him. He created us to be his children, to become the Lord of everything that he created. And this is the fulfillment of the third blessing that God gave to Adam and Eve from the very beginning. So true dominion, this is true dominion. As God's sons and daughters, Adam and Eve would have become caring rulers over the creation. Caring rulers over the creation. They would have governed over both the physical and the spiritual realms, including the angels. Through Adam and Eve, the entire universe would have become a good object partner, returning joy to God. So, and then in 1 Corinthians 6:3 said, don't you know that we have to judge the angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? So we are supposed to judge the angels. Big sabihin that man and woman, or true man and true woman, are the ruler of the whole creation of God, including the angels, including the spirit world, both the spirit world. And we are created supposedly to rule them with care, with loving care. So yun ang intention. That is the intention of God for all humankind. So the original kingdom, as the creator, God is the owner and king of the universe. So Adam and Eve, as God's children, were given the blessing to have dominion over the creation, which includes both the spiritual world and the physical world. As God's image, substantial body, and ruler of creation, Adam was meant to become the first king of the kingdom of heaven and earth. So understand this, that as the image of God, Adam, as the image of God, as the substantial body of God, and as the ruler of creation, Adam is supposed to become the first king of God's kingdom on earth, and God is to have been the first queen of God's kingdom. You know, kingdom means there is a king, di ba? Kingdom means there is a land na where they can have sovereignty over. And this is the earth. So the earth is the kingdom of God. So the first king and the first queen of that kingdom is Adam and Eve. And the king of the kings, King of kings is God. The king of the universe is God. The lineage of Adam was meant to have been the lineage of God's royal family. So Adam and Eve were supposed to create a family that is royal family, meaning the lineage of God. Yun yung intention para kay Adam and Eve in order to build God's kingdom. Okay, so the three blessings are the essence of the kingdom. The first blessing is individual maturity as a child of God, expressing the love and peace of God in daily life. So as individual who fulfill the first blessing, you could experience love and peace of God in our daily life. The second blessing, meaning established an eternally loving relationship between husband and wife, parents and children, expanding that to love the community, nation, and world. So the second blessing means to establish a family that will expand the love of God from family to society to nation to the world. And the third blessing, meaning to have creativity and harmony with God's creation. We become the owner of the kingdom, a dominion of love. So, yun yung the three blessings that God gave to the first man and the first woman when He created Adam and Eve. And since God is eternal, since God is unchanging, that blessing is still true until now. So this is also our blessing. Each person also has this blessing to be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion. So God's ideal of creation, His kingdom, through fulfilling the three blessings, God's lineage was to have been established on the earth. God's desire was to live from Adam, Eve, and their descendants. Diba kanina, what is God's looking for? Godly offspring, godly descendants. Ganon. If there had been no fall, God's sovereignty would have been established on earth and in heaven from the beginning. So whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Matthew 18:18, and I will make you home among them. I will be their God, and they will be my people. So in Ezekiel 37:27, it says that God is supposed to live with us. So God said, I will be their God. I will make my home among them. So God wanted to live with us as His children. God wanted to fulfill that desire. You know, God's internal, the core of God's nature is simjung, which is an irresistible emotional impulse to experience joy by loving. So God wanted to experience joy together with us, by loving all the creation. So thank you for listening.